Okay. Hello, welcome to FA Radio. So I'm Chris, that nice to see you again. And here is the radio to give you the latest news of automations. And in this collaboration, we'll invite different types of manufacturer and then to into our podcast and have a collaborations. So I think this time we also have a very good timing. And this time we're very welcome to invite EXOR. It is a Italian company. But before we start, let me introduce the member today. So let's start from Takashi. Could you introduce yourself? Okay. So we've got Takashi internet connection is not very good, so if maybe cannot speak too much. Okay, so Daniel, maybe now it's your turn. Could you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Chris, for today. I'm Daniel. I'm working inside EXOR International here in Italy. We are speaking from Italy, from Verona, where there is our headquarters here. I'm taking care about the international sales as an international sales manager for the group, in particular for EXOR International. So touching multiple territories from United States up to Japan, where I visited multiple times. Also your country, and I'm in love with your country.
Thank you. Okay, nice to meet you, Daniel. So, Nicola-san, could you also introduce yourself? Let me know a little bit more about you.
Yes, thank you, Chris. I am Nicola. I work for EXOR. I mean, it's been quite a long time. It's been almost 15 years. 15 years. I started as a, let's say, very simple engineering in the IT department. And then I also started my career with a technical support assistant. So I have a technical background. And then now I am moving to the to the dark side of the moon, where you need also to put some value into what you sell, to put some value into the software. So I am now product manager of our software, our solution that is called JMobile, which is the framework for the HMI programming. And basically my objective has always been to support people. At first idea to support customers, and now I'm supporting product sales channel to understand what are the pain points of people using our technology, but also to support the customer demand, which is now going very, very fast as far as we understand, and I'm sure that you agree with that. It's very, very fast, especially some years ago.
Yes, and actually just talk something private in here, and I have a very good connections with these two handsome guys, and I also, for example, Nicola, I think I emailed to him maybe 1 month, 1 or 2 times for have his support, and also Daniel, he's also my very good partner. We travel so many places together, so it's also my pleasure to invite both of you to have this podcast. Okay, so I think warm up is okay. So maybe you can start the first part. I think most of people that they listen to our podcast, maybe they will ask a question. So what is EXOR? Actually, before I meet both of you two guys, I also don't know what is EXOR. What is this company? And could you have some introduction or tell me what is EXOR and what is the strong part of your company, of your EXOR?
Okay, I can take the word and try to explain a little bit about our company. So the company EXOR International is a company that is more than 50 years old. So it's a company that born here in Italy. The headquarters is in Italy, where we have here practically the majority of our development. The research and development is in Italy, is also part in India. And it's a little bit really an international company. 400 people is the total, roughly 400 people is the total number of people that are working for us, globally speaking. We have several offices, so the production facility is still here in Italy, in Europe, in particular in Italy part, but we are also starting to expand this part, especially in the United States. We have offices, one it is in the United States in Cincinnati, one it is in Germany, and one in India. We have 3 offices in India in reality, so it's a very important market also for us. And another office is in Australia, taking care about the Southeast Asia. For the rest of the world, we have partners like you in Japan supporting us, talking about our technology in the local market and expanding the business. Our company is mainly a Western company, of course, because the main business is in Europe, north of Europe, Italy, and the United States. But of course, the majority of the business expansion now is more in the Far East, in Japan, of course, and in India. So that's exactly where we are investing also quite a lot. Company is private owned, so it's totally under our control, and that's one of our strength point.
Okay, thank you. And as you were talking about that, your company EXOR is not just in Italy; they also have in India and US and also Germany. And then you told me that all your products still keep made in Italy. It means that all the device from your side is made in your Italian, not just because now I know there's so many factories, so many manufacturers, they will try to shift their manufacturing line to China or Malaysia, some place. But why you still need to keep the production line in Italy?
But let me say, till today, of course, considering that we want to have the full control of the full supply chain, so we have also a couple of plant for production of PCBA. So also the boards that are used inside and designed from our side are under our production. So we prefer in our DNA to have the full control of the product, software, hardware, firmware. For sure, the market is changing. It's changing, and especially the localization required to have local partner and support very close to our customers. So that's also the reason why today, this year, we will start the production in United States for the local market. And that will be the first step of a long path, because it's also our intention to expand more the presence in India, but also in Japan, because in Japan, we are also starting step by step to have local services, for example, for repair, like also the possibility to have a local partner like you that are really very close to our customers and working exactly as they are expecting. So it's a company that is not anymore just an Italian company, it's really an international one.
So as you're talking, so you mean that you also now try, it's also planning to extend the production line to US. Does that mean that you have big customer, or maybe the sharing is increasing in US also? Is that correct?
Yes, in the United States, in particular, in the last year, we have a big increase because we increased the business in the range of 30-35% compared to the year before. So it was 35%. Okay. So it was a significant increase in the United States. The market is really incredible there now. But even in India, same situation in India, where we saw we have a significant increase of business due to our good also sales people and technical people and local service. Europe is quite mature market for us because we are in Italy and we are in Europe since long time, and also we are trying really to increase also the business globally speaking. And of course, we have a lot of green field where we can work.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we know that EXOR, what is EXOR is. So now I need to know a little bit more about what kind of product that EXOR make, because I also see your website that EXOR. Because in my first view, when I see watch EXOR's website, it looks like just making the HMI. But if I slow a little bit more inside, then it's not just HMI. Also make the also mobile panel, and also a cloud platform, and also control PLC, and also IPC, and some edge computing. So many different types of field that EXOR is covering. So could let all the listeners that know actually what EXOR is making, what kind of magic that EXOR is making for the customer and for the end user to improve their machine line or their performance? Could you give me some introduction for that?
Yeah, I can start a little bit, and after I will leave also Nicola to go a little bit more deeper inside. But in general, our company started, let me say, several years ago, taking care about HMI first, controlling HMI. So HMI is our main business, is still our main business. Our capability to have different lines of HMI for different type of application, food and beverage, outdoor product, marine, building automation, automotive, off-road automotive, food and beverage. So we have a big variety of product for HMI. But it's not anymore just like this. We are not anymore just an HMI company. Matter of fact, we expand a little bit our capability with hardware that are for mobile panel, for example. So we have also wireless with safety integrated. We will be the first one in introducing a PoE product for handheld also. This will be a big advantage also for customer in this type of market, in particular for bolts, for example. And in particular, we are establishing not anymore HMI, because we are introducing also and start to develop more software part like JMobile, where we have a big number of protocol for communication. And that's was the starting point to expand a little bit our platform, the so-called X platform that today is including also Corvina, for example, for remote connectivity, and all the IoT solution that we are providing and the apps. For example, now we are starting also to talk about cybersecurity more and more, and we are supporting our customers in the direction of not only to have the cybersecurity support in this sense, but also to have a right solution that they can use in order to deploy a little bit also the updates in the field. So that's the case of our CEM and the OTA solution that we have today. But Nicola, if you want also to take the word a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to start a little bit looking at the beginning from a technical point of view. What EXOR did and was positioned at the very beginning in the market. Well, at the beginning, we were asked by the market to have the human-machine interface for every machine. So basically, we developed our skills in electronic components and manufacturing HMIs with touch panels, but in the past, it was also physical buttons panels, the old-fashioned one. And then our main goal was to understand what if there have been some common features or common things that can be replicated into a product, both from hardware point of view and software point of view. And this has led us to learn very well how to build a certified hardware, not just for a specific market like industrial automation, like packaging, like pharmaceutical, but even in some vertical market where a machine could be also a boat, a luxury boat into the marine automation. Also there are HMIs, or into the automotive. Also there in agriculture, for example, where there are trucks that handled agriculture at the moment. Is very interesting market, but in all these places there is a need to interact with a machine. So the first goal at the beginning of the history was to develop protocols and a framework easy to use to create a suitable user experience from a human to the machine. And you may imagine that as soon as we build up this competence, we build up one software, then we evolved into another software that was client-server based, so providing web access and anything many years ago. Now we understood that not just the HMI is the key, but the strategy and the future is into the data that passes from the machine to a human, or from the machine to a factory. And that's why from the automation market, from the industrial automation nature that we are still in as a competent and authority into HMIs, we understood that there is a value, there is strategic for our customer into taking this data, contextualizing this data, and bring them to a cloud system, to a mesh, to a production, to a factory. And that's why Corvina here is the most strategic platform that you can stand on as an automation engineer.
Okay, thank you. I think there's so many listeners. Corvina is taking so many of different terms of so many different type of lining up that inside the extra product. So maybe I will make it clear in this speaking. So first, and after your introduction, that I know that the first thing, the goal is to build so many different types of protocols to allow the machine builder or even the end user to communicate to different types of device, not just PLC for something like SCADA and DCS something. They also provide a framework to improve the user experience, to let them to create the screen or to create the operation that is more easy to use to improve the performance. Okay, I looked and when I browse your website, that I know that EXOR is, as you mentioned before, EXOR is not just building some standalone panel for just install in the cabinet. You also provide the IP67 touch panel. It's called JSmart. You also have some panel is focused on the outdoor, on the food, on the boat, on the automotive. I think this is very special because I think HMI is a very, I would say, for some manufacturer, they think HMI is just a options for them. For example, like some company, they build PLC, and then okay, I also make HMI. They standards like this, but EXOR is a feeling that I've talked with Nicola or Daniel or other stuff inside EXOR. They are the professional to make the HMI. So they make the HMI more than 30 years. Is it correct? Something. So that's why that's why I think I also have very good user experience than when using EXOR's products. So could you tell me a little bit about that? What kind of different types of panel that you are lining up have and focus on different types of areas? What kind of, because I think all the listeners, they just know EXOR making so many different types of panel focused on different types of area, but what kind of which area that you are focusing on? I think the listener also didn't have very good understanding for that. We have just give us a little bit a very rough introduction for that.
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about also this aspect. In the HMI market, of course, we are a player. Our company is investing around 9% of the total revenue in research and development. So our company is a technology company first. Typically, we are introducing products in the market that a lot of time they are in the age of technology.
Okay.
So we started, you are right, more than 30 years ago with HMI. We were one of the main players in that moment, together with other, also Japanese one in that moment. And we work quite a lot with the big players in the market, big brand in the market. In the last 15, 20 years, we decided to go also more in the market with our own brand as EXOR. And in this case, we start to develop products that are from the cabinet mounting, classical cabinet mounting. We start to put also our brain inside in order to give an added value to a customer. And that was the reason why JSmart born, for example. JSmart, we are calling it the field HMI. It's practically an innovative product that is used without the need to have a protection, a cabinet part, because it's IP67 all around practically. PoE, also in this case, that can be mounted exactly in the line of production. And customer working in the line of production, they have an interface, a face of the machine exactly nearby them. HMI is, you are right, typically customer, they take care about control, and HMI is something a little bit later, but more and more, HMI is the face of the machine in front of the customer. So we try to invest quite a lot to improve this and to cover a lot of market and a lot of need. For example, we have a big customer working for oil and gas and outdoor solutions. So, and in this case, our technology we develop and we have a long experience on this. It's of course the quality is very high and it's permitting us to have in the field HMIs that can resist for a long time. And that's something exactly where there is also our added value for this aspect. Typically, one very important thing is also the certification. So when you need to certify certain product, you need to have the full control and to be sure that this product can satisfy exactly this type of certification. That's coming from our long history and long experience on this. That's the HMI part. But another important point is that on the HMI, in particular, in general, on the electronic part of the devices, we have having the full control of development. We can create also custom product and solution dedicated for customer. So this means that if a customer has a business and also can want to have a partner more than a supplier in technology, in visualization, and in control, you can find in EXOR a very good partner that can support them also creating custom solution. That's our capability. It's one of our strengths. And it is also well, let me say, represented and completed with our software. So JMobile, it's exactly developed by ourselves. We have more than 100 developers in total for all the platform, from hardware to software up to the cloud. And that's exactly what they permit us exactly to push in the market. Okay. Of course, the market now, there is also the need of something that is more, can give more flexibility, independence. So we are starting to introduce also panels that are really open platform with Docker inside, with browser panel, where we are start to be quite strong also in this type of solution.
Yes. Okay. So Daniel is they mentioned so many different type of stuff that for EXOR. So I need to explain some experience in my side. I visit EXOR the office one time or two times before. The first thing that I feel very surprised is that they are using their panel inside their office. For example, they told me they have a panel called JSmart, and it's the IP67, right? You can see to control the elevator. To control the elevator.
That's true.
to
yeah, it's
very great.
It's right? Our DNA. Yeah, it's our DNA to be the first customer of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's typical what we are doing. So when we develop also product in our production facility, inside also the line of production, we are using our HMI, also the control that we develop inside, because you know that we also acquired a company that is XPLC. So now we have also soft PLC that can be used typical as codices. So also codices is compatible with our products, but also we start to have also XPLC. So practically, yes, that's true. Our products are used for serving our rooms here, or to control the line of production, or also to interact with people that they need to work in the production, in the offices. So yeah, you can see it quite easily here.
And you mentioned that you also make the customized panel for some practical user in some practical applications. So in maybe, I don't know, in Europe or even in India, you can see some special panel even used before, but maybe it's made by EXOR. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, a lot of time you can see this type of things. And honestly, we have also a significant market that is brand label. It's a historical reason we are working with very big giants in the market. And we are rebranding also our product for them. And they are introducing their catalog. So a lot of time, our technology is in the heart a little bit of big supply in the market. But let me say, yes, it's one of our capabilities. So you can see for sure customer product, dedicated product for certain marketing, a lot of different applications.
So if some Japan manufacturer, they also like make their own panel, they can also try to contact you. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's one of our capabilities for sure. So yes, we have already big customer in Japan.
Yeah, I think at least one day I need to open the panel and see that is some extra logo inside the PCB or not.
That's true.
And
well, if I can add something, Chris, just to give also a technical, interesting point about that. Being a certain percentage always invested in the research and research on technology, also jumping on new market, even on new market or totally brand new situations, we force our brains, we force our innovation to create solution where there is nothing. I was thinking about a specific market like marine, where at the day zero, maybe 15 years ago, there was the need of vector graphic, where in industrial automation there was not such need. But then when our vision is to jump on a new technology, is to learn that technology, is to provide the technology usable for anyone as the first, and the innovation part, that's brought the value for basically all the automation. It's the same as for the pharmaceutical market. We worked on some specific features for security, and for many years we are working for that features. Now are becoming an interest also for other part of the automation, because cybersecurity is hitting. So the fact is that is when a technology partner, a technology-oriented partner like us is into the game, then we can at a certain moment take a rabbit in our head, take out a rabbit, and then find there is a solution that has been a solution for someone else. Okay, and this allow us to have a very big platform with a huge amount of features. Then even us, it's not capable to explain too much, because we are still discovering.
Okay, thank you. And even I also reset Nicola's stacks or his floor of office or his floor before. You see so many different types of PLC in there. They try to make so many different types of testing verifications or some customer for demo show every day. I see more than 100 PLC on the just mounted on the wall for the HMI or for their runtime to test. Yeah. Okay, so we talk about touch panel and then HMI, and then you talk about JMobile. Who do you feel about JMobile? If they just didn't know this term, but I think the listener, they don't know what is JMobile. Is it a editor or a runtime? What is that? Could you explain it a little bit more?
Okay, I will start because I know Daniel will let me explain this a little bit better.
That's your big experience.
That's my boy. Okay, so JMobile is a framework. First, it's a framework for developing HMIs. It's composed by an IDE, so an editor, a studio, which is a low-code editor. Just drag and drop object into the page and connect the object to variables. And you can program the front end of an HMI with this easy way. So drag and drop, connect things together, create your beautiful HMI with vector graphics and auto-scaling features. And that's just the first part.
Okay.
Then it's a framework also for the backend. You can configure your data, where your data come from. And here you can choose from a list of 200 protocols for many PLCs. You can even utilize some backend features like data transferring. So you can use the baseline of JMobile, the capability on reading up this data coming from different PLCs, but you can create a product that is a protocol converter. Just basically using just the backend features. Another aspect is the connectivity of this runtime with other plugin modules or other, we can call it other interfaces, like an interface to a database, interface to MQTT brokers, interface to OPC UA protocols, so standardized protocol, in the way that JMobile can program a connectivity hub in the backend. All the data comes. You can script with JavaScript and create your own little logic into the HMI or into the gateway device, which is an HMI, but it's blind without a display, no? And then still having the capability of a client-server architecture.
Okay.
You download this project inside the runtime, and then you can access the pages that you have created, even with a browser. And you can do it in a parallel section. So there is an operator in front of the machine that is using the HMI as it's been programmed, but you can dedicate an experience also for a remote connection. Do you have a remote client with a web browser or with even a native client with JMobile that is connecting and using the same graphic that you have created? Or you can specialize from your smartphone. So maybe you do not need the full display and the full application like TeamViewer or BNC, no? You need a specialized profiled access to the data. So you can create a portrait page, very simple, few data, just some alarms, maybe for a manager or for a production manager, not for the operator. And JMobile allows all this programming with an easy tool that is very friendly and has been designed for people who have no time to learn. That's the idea.
Okay. So that's all right. So JMobile actually is a total framework. They've separated a couple of parts. So first, by the editor is ID to allow the user that no need to learn too much to program the HMI by using drop and place or JavaScript or something. They also provide a connectors connecting to other PLC by so many protocols or and also the database or OPC server or MQT something. That is the part one. So the other part is they also have a runtime that for to collect data, and after the runtime to allow developer a server client model to allow you to use it, some web server, web browser, or even JMobile client to show to operate the screen. And I think this is why Daniel mentioned that EXOR now is developing or they release the web panel for that. Is that focused on because of JMobile have this type of a server client?
Well, let me tell this. We follow what the market is asking, usually. So we are obsessed by understanding our OEM customer, obsessed to giving them one solution, two solutions, many alternatives, and follow whatever is the best solution for them. So thinking on JMobile, that can be a web application, basically, with the JMobile for web. How can you access this web application? You can have a web browser. Why web browser, as far as we understood, hit too much in the recent years? How people became obsessed about web application in these years? Because we know a web application may be also heavy in performance, may also do not have the same experience into a very fast C++ HMI that you can develop yourself, right? So the more you create abstraction in the code, the more you need to pay with the CPU, with the RAM, with anything needed. But there is a fact that has been that has happened in 2019, has been called COVID. From that point of view, the world changed its mind about the technology that is needed, because COVID has moved all the dynamics in supply chain, in components, and many OEM has experienced vendor lock. So they was inside the technology, inside a vendor of PLC, of HMI. So anyone has had this first thing to be done, which is hardware independence. And there are two technologies that can guarantee that one. One is a web application, because in our minds and in the mind of decision maker, web means any platform. Anything can be on web, can be displayed on the web. You just need a stupid browser. So that's the first thing. The second technology that is pushed very much for guaranteeing software portability is the Docker container, because you can take a software and with this technology you can run the container in a third-party device without changing your code. Because imagine, I am a machine builder and I buy from you, Chris Chang. I buy HMIs, I buy PLCs with a very strict technology, with a closed technology. There is a shortage period. You are not able to supply me the amount of hardware that I need for guaranteeing the business, for guaranteeing a service to my market. Then I'm locked. I have no option there. So in the recent years, anyone has decided to jump or to study if there is a solution on a portable technology to guarantee hardware and software independence. And that's why JMobile, that already supports web, but in parallel we supported the hardware selling of browser, even working with a third-party web application, maybe a vendor of PLC, which is hosting a web HMI application, which is not even EXOR. So it's just a web panel, stupid web panel. Instead, we had customers that understood how we can be supportive in being a total partner, and they have both our blind HMIs, the gateways, with the JMobile for web, and then with the web panel that reads the application. So we have both, so they can easily move to another supplier if they need, but they can stand with us if they need, keeping the technology that support them. That can be JMobile, can be the PLC, which is called this with this XPLC, and the best thing, best is the Corvina platform, which can orchestrate all this technology together.
Okay, thank you. And there's also a thing that I very interesting because I think in this 3 or 4 years into thing, when I see that so many manufacturers, not just EXOR, they also starting to manufacture the web panel, and to you not. I think before that they, for example, just like Siemens, they have WinCC. For Rockwell, they have panel wheel. They will have a they have a panel that with their own runtime inside that you can just operate the panel that in front of your cabinet. But I think in this 5, let's say it's after 2019, after Corona maybe, and they will start to use the web applications. Is that still the main is still same, keeping this direction running in Europe now? There's shifting all the application to web, or even not just using EXOR or something.
I think there is a parallel situation going on, because HMI that require to be performant and low cost and not acceptable to be vendor lock, it's still existing. Okay, so there are some low-end HMIs where cost is still something that matters. Could be medium, small OEM that needs to do repetitive machine, repetitive equipment. In that case, it's still working the approach of having a runtime and a local panel there. But for new machines and complex machines and machines that require continuous patches, continuous improvement, then now the trend is to prefer a web technology. So anyone is moving their own runtime technology to be containerized, to be available into a store, and instead into the machine, into the equipment, having edge devices that are open, where you can load any Docker that you want.
Okay,
This is a bit challenging, because it also changes the aftermarket. The biggest challenge of this new scenario is, if I have a machine with many software by many suppliers, when there is a problem, and you know what I mean, when there is a problem, who do you need to contact? Who do you need to blame? That is a very interesting challenge for this future, and that's why a partner which is going from the board designing to the cloud system, it can make the difference. Be just a selling of an HMI as a standalone solution, that's not the case anymore, because the market has changed.
Okay, and I think it's very lucky, because I think now Japan is not. I think it's now still not so many Japan manufacturers start to make the web panel. I think, because at least I see some big manufacturer, they're still not starting to make the web panel. And maybe there's some culture difference between Japan or Europe or something. Maybe they're using different architecture in their machine line. So maybe I also a chance for you for EXOR to go inside Japan for this type of way. Yeah.
Keep in mind that also this type of technology expand, as was mentioned from Nicola, exactly for the situation, the critical situation that it was everybody experienced due to components. No? So customer want to have a certain dependency, and so they want to have more control of the situation about this. So it's our job as EXOR, practically to guarantee also continuity of the product, to give more interest and to work as a partner for our big customers in order to serve them also in critical situation. We have the full control of it. We decided, for example, after COVID, to acquire also part of the supply chain dedicated to EMS. So we have a couple of production facilities in Europe that are under our ownership and control, where we are buying components. We are we have the line of production for also the PCBA, and we have the final assembly here in Verona. So that's something that permits practically to serve also our customer at the best. The product is under our control. So if we need also the redesign of the product, it's easier for us than other, because we have engineers internally and also people dedicated for certifications that can support us practically internally on the give continuity. And that's one of the points where we are focusing today, together also with the flexibility of the software part. Keep in mind that when we talk about browser panel, everybody talk about a stupid browser panel, but that's not the reality, because if it is the software at the server side, the application put in the server side is under our control, I can guarantee you that we are working at the best, and the performance are absolutely the best you can find. But when the one that is defining this application is an external company, and they is not taking care about the client part, they are just focused on the server, the power of the stupid browser panel must be quite a lot. And that's exactly the market, how it's moving. So there is a continual update and revolution on some browser panels. So every year, practically, there is an update about CPU, about memories that we are using, because they expect a continuous increase, and that's our job, part of our job.
Yeah, and actually, I also
use...
please, yeah.
No, sorry. Whoever is thinking on a web application is programming like a web server. You know, when you program your website, you do not think about how much memory do I have. So it's not an embedded way of programming. Thinking on an infinite resources, that's the main problem. Whoever is designing this new technology application, it's maybe new generations that they started this abstraction, but they do not take care about optimizing into the memory, because at the end we need also to save costs and to have the best offer possible, to be sellable, to be desirable, and to stand on the market, to be the best solution for the customer. That's also another interesting aspect in the technology that is moving also towards the generations, new generation. Now that also the AI has helped as a co-pilot, to our young engineers, I see a little bit of risk in losing the knowledge about optimizing and about look in any part of resources that can be done, being creative in understanding the architecture, even from the electronic point of view. That's a feature that could still be a game changer. If the world is going in this AI standardized fact, maybe it could be faster in developing, but it will never be optimized enough to guarantee anything. And that's something that you build up with years, and you build up with a continuous research from the cloud to the system on the module.
Yes, that's I read say something for the automation, that because when I listen web panel, in my view, it's just a web browser, right? I mean, this is my honest question, my sentence in that side. But I try different types of web manufacturer, web panel, and then I also try EXOR. I also try different types of manufacturer, and I know the web browser is heavy than I mentioned, than I images. Then I think even the web panel, I use other web panel that the response is not very good, and even that you need to touch 1 or 2 hours, they freeze. You don't know why, but at least I use best when I have some demo web panel in my home just for EXOR. And even at least I don't face this problem. So I think that EXOR they spend so many resources even on the web panel to automatic the memory or to choose the CPU to make the R&D team to make sure this panel is working well and 24 hours, 7 days, 1 year, something. Is that correct? Yes.
As I said, in EXOR we know our chickens. We say that. So we know what is the pain points. Please, Daniel, go ahead.
And additional to this, we have the big advantage that we are working with a really big player in the market. That's the fact that working with them also, and also touching the field practically, we have the possibility to see in advance what is the possible need in the market. And that's something that is a big advantage for us, because having in our hands the full technology and the control of it. On the other side, the experience in the field and the experience that is forwarded to us from our big customer, big player. In this case, we are usually a lot of time at the edge of the technology. We are a lot of time the first introducing technology in the industrial automation. Think about capacity product. The capacity product, when somebody say, capacity with a problem of growth, so nobody will use it. We are talking about 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, we started to introduce it, and today we are probably one of few that they can control also the touch part, because we have the full control also in the drive. So in reality, we can calibrate the touch with also thick gloves. Think about military. Military, they use in certain application, our touch, our displays, and they have very thick gloves. We can also permit them to use it in such conditions because the calibration of the product is under our control. And we can permit also this type of thing. So that's an example. But PoE is another example. We start to introduce with the JSmart line. We were the first introducing a field HMI concept. That's exactly also another idea.
Okay.
That we introduce some.
Okay, for PoE, that actually I see that you also have a handle panel, a wireless panel, right? And to we have X7, X10, I see that you have a panel that's very like teaching pendant, right? With a PoE type and wireless type. Could you tell me a bit more about that? Because I think that is very interesting. I think that there's not so many different types of products in Japan that they have a panel that's just like teaching pendant that can provide the power and the safety signal by just using PoE or in wireless in the future. Could you introduce a little bit more products? These products in here. I think these are very interesting for that.
I can start just to tell you a little bit what was also our experience. We have teach pendant since long time. We started also here with big players. One it is in United States, work for energy market, wind power. No, so one of our big customers is using it exactly to program the wind turbine on the feet in the wind market since long time. We started from this, so the classical wired product is available in the market since long time. But there is a problem on this: is the cable, especially the big thick cable. It's not easy to use around, especially when you have big distance. No, so it was introduced the wireless one, and we introduced wireless technology with safety integrated. So we have the X5, the X7, 7-inch, and also the X10, 10-inch capacity product. But in certain conditions, we know quite well. Even the wireless product cannot fit, maybe because the environment where we are working, the geometric application that you have, the availability of the network, also the wireless network. So we introduce a solution that maybe is a solution that can fit a lot of time between wired and wireless. It is the PoE, because the PoE is still cable-based, but light of cable is so thin. Let me say that it's very ergonomic. You cannot feel it so much, and that's something that I think I'm very convinced that this will be also a very good solution for a lot of applications.
And I have a chance to try the handle panel before that. You have a padding function. It's very interesting, right? I don't. Could you?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's your turn now, Nicola.
Yeah, my turn. That's technical one, so I take care about that. So that one has been a certified pairing procedure, because when you deal with safety, you need to be in line with the certifications and with the special procedure that, if they do not exist, you need to build up in a creative way. So the pairing in the wireless is interesting because it's reporting you how much lamp blinks the base is doing, and then in this procedure, you as operator are following this wizard. Okay, I try to connect the base. I see how much lamps between 1 and 5 they will blink. Then I choose that one, and that pairing has been done. And this wizard, that's called wizard, has been certified as something that is a safe pairing. Okay, that's interesting because, as Daniel said, wireless is a desirable solution because sometimes it can be innovative. You know, when you have your robot teaching, or you have application like AGV, LGVs for logistics, when you need something to drive a piece of equipment that must move around your facility. But then the classical problem of a classic wired display is that when this one is missing, or the cable is damaged, or I don't know, something happened, then this is too weak. The solution is a little bit too weak. So thanks to the JMobile client server architecture, we put the logic inside a base. So X5, X10, and X7, they are not a single device. They are systems. You have the base, and then you have the pendant.
Okay.
Then can be wired or wireless, but the technology supports you to have all the project and all the logic dealing with data that is on the base, that can stay on the robot, that can stay on the LGV or AGV, that can stand on the warehouse automatic machine, whatever. But then you can pair to one base or pair to another base, and into the pendant, you do not have nothing but a client. Just a client, empty. So you can fetch the project one, connecting to base one, and then you can move the base one. Then you detach safely, so the safe is maintained and not starts the security and the safety warnings. And then when you safety unpair, you can pair with the second one. And that's the interesting part. This is understandable for the wireless. But the PoE solution is the middle layer, where you need to trust the reliability of the power supply of a cable. But then you would like to benefit of the idea that the base is still working. So you can detach from base 1 and attach to base 2 your PoE cable. And that's keeping anything safe and anything very, very easy to use. Also, think about having many bases around your factory and just having a couple of pendant. You do not need to update projects. You do not need to take care about the maintenance of the project on the pendant, because they are just reading the project on the base, and that's it. So you can have also an optimized warehouse. That's why I'm telling we are very near to understand what is the real pain point. If the pain point has been the cable because it's too tough, too big, we started thinking on the wireless solution, so we pushed the solution there. But at the end, we understood that there was a middle layer that is way, way more comfortable for certain application, but keeping and standing on a nice application, like on a nice architecture like the one in JMobile, that is a client server, without developing nothing more than what we already had.
So it means that actually the pendant is just a client reading the base. Actually, they don't have any logic in the. Oh my.
Could be. It could be, because you can also load a runtime there, and that's the brain. Okay. They're two HMIs basically. One is with the display, one is without the display. So you can have a client in one and a server in the other, or even using the base just for the security signals, and then having the logic in the one. You can keep your architecture if you want, your old architecture. But in case you need the new one, that's already supported. And that's way smarter for new machines, because you can leverage on the fact that you do not need to maintain the project on the handheld. So it's hours of maintenance that you save. You do not need to have one pendant for any machine. Maybe it's not good for us because we sell less, but actually many bases are there. But our interest is to find the right solution to be more usable for the OEM and maintainable, because time is always less to keep the technology up and running.
Okay, so maybe your this type of solution may be also very famous in Japan. The next time, maybe if Daniel he visits Japan, maybe need to talk a little bit about that for this type of product.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Good luck, guys.
Okay. So I think there's also a big topic already talked that you mentioned so many times. It's Corvina. So as I understand, Corvina is just a fruits to make the wine, right? But what is Corvina in EXOR?
Yeah. Let me explain a little bit about the story of Corvina, because the name was one idea coming from a little bit CTO of our company. Because practically, Verona is nearby area that is called Valpolicella. One of the most famous wine that we have is called Amarone, and Amarone is produced with one of the most important grapes, that is Corvina. Corvina is a grape, is a type of grape. If you give a look on the single component of the grape, they are well connected with each other. And that was the idea of Corvina as a let me say, name, because that's exactly our intention. So originally, several years ago, before COVID, we started to have quite intensive requests to have the possibility to control remotely our devices and our HMI. So we started to, in that moment, so we are talking about several years ago. If I remember well, we started 8-10 years ago to have the initial phase of remote connectivity development. We started to develop this in the market. And of course, this started to be very interesting after COVID, during COVID, because people were frozen practically at home, and they were forced to control remotely application with a technology like VPN.
Okay.
That was the starting point. But after, practically, this type of platform and technology told us that we have a very big opportunity to expand it and to offer more to our customers. The market changed also in terms of business dramatically, because also machine builder, they are not anymore just focused to sell the machine. They are focused also to do business after sales, providing services to people. How you can provide services if you don't have data, where you can start to work and offer something to end user. And that's exactly the point of evolution of Corvina. Corvina is a platform that can permit practically, it's cloud-based, but is evolving also on edge.
Okay.
And it is permitting practically to store data, to create a dashboard. And it's even this one is an open platform that, thanks to API, you can also interconnect it with external databases, external ERP systems. You can take data, you can aggregate the data, and you can show also data with dashboards, or create an application that our machine builder can offer also to end users.
Okay,
the typical market that we have is machine builder in one side, and also end users. So also Corvina, it's, for example, used today in our production facility, and we are the first customer for ourselves also in this case. It's permitting the digitalization of our plant of production. That's exactly the second market that we can start to attract with also Corvina.
Yeah, and actually I have a chance to see their production line, and their production line also in the first floor. In the second floor is their control room. In the control room, they maybe, I think it's more than 50 inch of screen that is showing their Corvina platform. And then here you can see the whole line, not just their line, production line. You can see all the supply chain, the status of the supply chain, actually the status when their components will reset their extra office and how many NG parts there. They have a feedback to their supply chain that, hey, your slot of this component had problem, please check it or something. And could you explain to people what the use case of that? Because I think there's so many people that, hey, we have cloud, we can collect data, we can show the dashboard, and then that's all. They didn't know. Even me also don't know that how can it use in the real case and to improve your performance, to visualization. So you tell me a little bit more about your successful story for your production line for that.
Can I?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think
can I do it first? Okay, so as we already mentioned before, we like to be our first customer.
Okay.
With our technology.
Sure.
So we put HMIs all over the building.
Okay.
Just also for the elevator, for the elevator we have the nice JSmart to call the elevator in our facility. And when it comes to optimize the production, to have a real-time picture of the material that arrives, the people that is working, all the status of production and shipment, all the orders that comes in the production. This was an internal problem.
Okay.
But we said, guys, we have a cloud platform. We can do it. We can collect data from the things that we are producing. We are creating HMIs that control the production of other HMIs. It's like brain,
Okay.
an explosion in your brain, because it's like inception. But when it comes like that, we realize that the real benefit that we could bring is on the data that we can produce, and putting engineers and data analysts on the data that comes from our production. We use the Corvina application to provide managers a clear view on the production state. And this is the use case. So Corvina, which is a cloud-based platform that receives data from an operation field, from OT, from operation technology, with machine that does the silicon, let's say, around the HMIs that seals the HMIs, or for machine that, I don't know, sensors that are understanding how much HMIs passes by hours. All these things together passes through OT technology that me, you, anyone in this audience is very well understanding. But it has never been our job to collect this data and to produce a service on this data. Usually this expectation, this need, is in the aftermarket, when the machine is there and when there is an IT integrator that must put things together and use a technology to maintain things. The problem is when you do not have the hardware there. Maybe you miss a sensor, maybe you miss I don't know, a process. That we worked also in digitalizing processing with the lean production. So in our group there is also a company that does just this, helps factories in their processes for the lean production. You know what I mean? When processes are well formed, well explained, well syntaxed, if there is a common syntax and a common understanding, a glossary in your factory, then you can apply services. Then you can apply data that are collecting, and you can optimize project, and you can obtain a service. And you know what? When we produce, let's think for a second that we are OEM. I produce a machine. My job is to do the machine the best as possible.
Okay.
That must cost the right amount. that must fit, and then I have duties to maintain this machine. That's my only job. But what if I can transform my after sales from cost to gain? What if I can collect data and understand how can I offer a service thanks to my machine? I make an example from the Tesla machine. It's a very beautiful example. It doesn't fit with anything we are saying, but it's just the idea. No? Tesla may have sensors to read the roads, understand the roads if the road is damaged. Okay, doesn't have an immediate benefit for the driver unless you hit a road that can damage your car. So that's the focus that is for your driver. But imagine that the car can understand if the road is broken and can sell a service of profiling the road to the city where the machine is. So let's think on a OT machine that can produce services because it is connected with other components. It is connected with things that produce stuff and needs to transform a center of cost in a center of gain, in a center of revenue in the after sales. So that's why it is important for us. It's been important to invest a lot in a cloud-based platform, which is now being technical, based on Kubernetes, based on an infrastructure and not locked into an infrastructure. That could be any infrastructure server all over. It is multi-server, can be all around, and we think that automation can be treated as we treat a cloud application with continuous integration, continuous application management, and we try to apply that concept into the OT also, because we understood that the data is the very core of the future services. OT will remain, things will remain that does stuff and does automation, and we are very well aware about that. But the difference may be to orchestrate these things, this automation, to provide side services and to also extend the selling model.
So you mean the cloud, Corvina is not just a cloud platform to allow you to make some beautiful dashboards, allow to all your machine that in your factory or in your line to connect in the same platform, have the same format, then allow you to use that data to learn the money. Is that correct?
At the end, yes. One of the things that is more a factory already, when Daniel said we have two main focus in Corvina. One is machine manufacturer, OEM, and the other is factory owner. For factory owner, there are also special products which are out of the automation, which is the digitalization, which is one thing that we call the X layer, which is something that makes anything orchestrated and contextualized together to work with the mass, to work with the other equipment that is in the factory. But then the other main road of Corvina is to orchestrate the OT apps like JMobile, like XPLC, and the most felt features, most near features that are available now in Corvina is the remote connection and the fleet management. Fleet management allows you to just in one click spread the update of HMI project and PLC project with one click to all the connected machine, just like an ET manager. You become an OT manager, and then when there is a vulnerability that comes with the cybersecurity, when there is a new vulnerability with Corvina, you can declare the vulnerability, you can take a portal of open vulnerability and understand people how to mitigate that impact, but then you can also schedule a release of a security patch, which will be dramatically important because the world is changing in that direction due to, in Europe, the CRA, but we think that cybersecurity regulation with it in the next year, basically around all the world.
Okay. And I have a question. I know there's so many the platform, they're also selling their own cloud, but they need some maybe they need some special gateway or some special setup for connecting device to their cloud platform. How about Corvina? For example, do you need to buy some special gateway, some other device to connect your cloud to from your panel to cloud? Or how to say, do you need to buy some other additional device for connecting to cloud?
Well, there are two connections that we actually need to have. One is to the device itself, and then you can just enable a service into your Linux-based device. In EXOR Linux-based, we have a layer which called system settings, where you can access to services such as a firewall, such as port forwarding, and then there is a service. There is a cloud service. That cloud service enables the whole machine to be reachable from the external through a VPN.
Okay.
That's the first connection. When it comes that you need to take the data and push the data wherever, we use the JMobile connector. JMobile is in the back end, can read all the PLC values, the internal PLC, the external PLC, all the Modbus sensors, anything. And then at the JMobile level, we can create the abstract concept of a tag. A tag is just a container with a value, with a timestamp. We can take that value and push in Corvina. The protocol used to push data in Corvina is MQTT. Okay. But we in Corvina, we hide the complexity of MQTT just by telling in the JMobile project, hey, which kind of text you want to push? This, and this. And that's it. All the push policies and all the settings on when I need to have my data is done in the cloud by Corvina. You have a setting there. You can change the policies. You can govern within the platform. So you are not dependent on the project lifecycle. In the project lifecycle, you just need to select which tags to push. But then the difference in everything in the market is exactly that one. You need the Corvina connector available in JMobile, and soon will available also standalone by reading standard data. Then we'll push data and then let the platform orchestrate everything into the push policies.
Even I see there's some manufacturers, they use separate for data connections and connecting to cloud, and in the between of these two areas, they need some device bridge or something. So by using Corvina and extra products, that is to integrate into one platform. You don't need to config in 2 times or 3 times, or just taking the data to the cloud is also the benefits, right?
Yes, but we can also say another thing that I was missing before. We think that beside hardware and software detachment that is needed from the market, there is also another need. The need is to be open. Okay. Because anyone already started creating his own cloud system inside all application. So we identified the openness into any platform as another value. And that's why when you take data from Corvina, you can access the same data through REST APIs. So if you have already a platform, already something, you can just benefit from few data in Corvina, access to that data, integrate in your own application. Or you can create the dashboard through Corvina, no problems. Or if you want your application to send data to Corvina, we can distribute the technique how to do it. That's the point. The openness will be for us the key. As we many years ago open for many PLCs, we're now to be open for any technology that would like to host or be hosted by Corvina. The fact is, if you use all the chain of EXOR, we can guarantee all the steps for cybersecurity, for technology changes. So we are there, we are focused there. But still, we know that our customer needs to be a full portfolio of openness into their solutions.
There is also another things that I would like to add, because typically when we approach customer talking just about cloud solution, some of them start to be a little bit reluctant, a little bit afraid to spread data up in the cloud. So in this case, it's also very good to tell that our Corvina solution is something that we are providing different business model. So software as a service, platform as a service, but also on-prem solution. This is very important because if the customers, especially big manufacturer, they want to keep the data in their own solution server internally, that's something that we can provide. We can also give and provide an installation of a Corvina instance inside their own server. So that's very important for the market because, of course, cloud is the evolution and a lot of customers are using it. But if there is also the need sometimes to have to keep the data internally governed from the customer, Corvina can give also this possibility.
So you mean Corvina is just not a platform to collect the data or big data. For example, the customer, if they want the Corvina can also just provide instance for that, then you can create your own application on the Corvina cloud platform. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. In few words, you can have Corvina software as a service. That's a standard way, but it can also be offered platform as a service, full branded. And one thing very interesting is that Corvina has a store of application. Then we have added our own application, the fleet management called Corvina Edge Manager, the Corvina Hub repository to host any information that you would like to have, maybe also the user manual of the machine, you would like to have it online. But then if someone would like to have Corvina as its own platform, they can host this instance itself and they can put their own application. And there is a very nice store app management, which is based on credit that are inside credit in Corvina. You can create your own app. You can assign how much credit it will cost to the end user. And you just need to recharge your platform instance with the amount of credit and assign to the sub-organization the credit that they want. It's a very nice solution because it's open for any kind of model. And when you have the platform as a service, you can create your own without being forced to use the one that EXOR provides or Corvina.
Okay, so if I'm not using EXOR Pro device, but it's also a chance for me to connect to the Corvina. For example, I have just a standalone PC, IPC. Is that possible also to directly connect my standalone PC data to Corvina?
Yes, you need some connectors. You may need just the JMobile runtime to take data and then to push, or we can provide some Docker images that does this for you.
Okay, thank you. It's very nice solutions. And when we discussing Corvina, we also mention a term that I think Taka-san very interesting is XPLC. I know that EXOR is also making their own software PLC, right? And could you tell me why? Because I know that EXOR can also run Codis runtime inside. I think Codis is also a very great solutions for controlling the machine. But why EXOR still trying to develop their own XPLC? Could you tell me the idea or the background of that?
Okay, may I just introduce a little bit also this topic?
Okay.
Let me say a little bit more general because you can understand also the intention, what is the background of this. EXOR is promoting since long time the possibility to use the HMI as also control. Thanks also to Codis. So Codis is available. It's something that a lot of our customers are using our HMI not only as an HMI, but it is PLC plus HMI. Matter of fact, also we completed this line because in our EX700 series, for example, you can plug in iOS module in the backside. So you have really a complete solution from iOS, local iOS, control, and HMI. Now, it's our DNA to have the full control of the technology. We are a technology company. So And we understood quite well how much is important also to have the possibility to offer a control solution under our control, where we can invest, where we can adapt, and we can also integrate in our platform. Because the customer are expecting that the single piece of this platform are well coordinated together. That's the reason why we decided to first to create a company that is Corvina. Corvina is also a company dedicated for IoT solution. And Corvina start to also acquire additional company and technology inside, like also XPLC. XPLC is not a solution that is just developed few days ago. It's coming from 20 years of experience.
20 years.
It is, it's a company also. Behind this, there is a company with a lot of engineers that are developing since more than 20 years. This solution is used also from big manufacturer, big customer in different market, drives, HVAC market, control market. We had the opportunity to acquire it and to integrate inside our company. So now this is part of our company. And that's where we are investing quite a lot in order to integrate, to complete it in our platform, in order to offer a very good solution, also performance-wise and price-wise, also to our customers. I don't know, Nicola, if you want to add something more about technical, so what is a little bit...
well, that's the term that Chris likes, because it's a technical one.
Now,
so
I need to pass the ball to Nicola.
Listen, the fact is this: we consider Codesys a brilliant solution. We worked with Codesys since when Codesys was Codesys 2.3.
Really?
I don't know if you remember the old-fashioned Codesys. It was very nice. We were first that integrates a PLC into a Windows CE based HMI running Codesys many years ago, 20 years ago more or less. And it's still a very good solution. It's well known in the market. It's very known in Europe. It starts to be very well known also in Europe. And you know what? From 2018 is even better, because the name Codesys has had a response to the vendor lock in the PLC cases. So when someone needs to move from big player in the PLC vendors, they start thinking on Codesys as first, because Codesys is a software company. It's not selling hardware. And the strength of a software company is to stand in any hardware. Okay, but that's the fact. Codesys is not tailored for any hardware. It can work for any hardware, but tailoring is another story. It's like we said before, why we can be so performant into the browser, because we can control any piece of debug. We can be inside any technology, and that's the game changer. So still considering Codesys as a very big opportunity, even for us, because we resell as an internal PLC. We understood that we also need to be prepared for something alternative, or for something that can be tailored better for our hardware. Because being able to control the piece of software, the roadmap of a group, which is standing on the EXOR hardware and the EXOR roadmap, it's a strategic point where we can tell to machine builders with special needs that they can have an alternative that we can control and we can guarantee. So our main focus, again, I will say until we are tired of hearing, but we are obsessed with customer requests. And if a customer requires me to answer in a very short time in a specific request, I need to control any piece of the software. And that's why the investment has been done. No matter of fact that Codesys has way more capabilities in terms of nodes, library, and whatsoever, because it has a wider offer. While XPLC can be can be seen as a very aggressive software because it's work very performant and it scales even in bare metal, so even without an operating system. Okay, so it's a perfect matching between the performance need that we have and the footprint. The footprint is very tiny, so it does not overload the CPU. It's not providing this much pain. No. So when it comes that machines in general, devices are growing in CPU capacity, in RAM capacity, then we're thinking on the evolution of the edge architecture. When you can Dockerize or you can container a soft PLC the best as you can, and then XPLC is the best fit. Or even running on the host, then you, of course, you need to control any piece of hardware that is attached. No, the Ethernet cable, the EtherCAT. We have also in PLC, just for making you an instance, the multi-master capability for the redundancy. So you can have two master EtherCAT in XPLC, and you can manage the redundancy, which is extremely complex. But being able to have a group that is focused on application in the real time, we can guarantee performances and new feature in shorter time. So we thought it would be very interesting to have the core of automation as part of our portfolio, manageable by the group. The challenge is to bring anything together, and there are features that can let you understand how I feel by platform. Because if you can consider that XPLC is the classical runtime and IDE environment, right? But you can consider that the IDE has already have a version that is totally web-based. Imagine that you can connect to Corvina, access to the web version of the IDE of XPLC, and then you can modify the project from the platform, directly from the platform. You can understand that this kind of integration requires that you can govern the full technology. That's why the value that brings the full platform with the automation piece of software, the HMI piece of software, and even the factory piece of software brings anything together to guarantee automation and factory infrastructure to work together in an harmony. Right?
Oh, get it. So the main reason that is actually that code is better, is great, but I would say for the exercise, for the EXOR, maybe it cannot be fully controlled by inside EXOR, so it may be not the best solution for some customer that is using EXOR. And by using XPLC, that you can develop all things, and because all this stuff is controlling by yourself. So you mentioned before, you can use Corvina to directly download or to edit or to create a backup for your XPLC, for your JMobile runtime. You can control all the things, and you can hear the customer's voice, and then to integrate the solution. Even no need to wait code is I think it's also very big reasons, right?
Yes, one of the big reasons. By saying that, we're not saying we can substitute it. We would like to substitute codices, right? Because at the very end, customer is the one that decides. If it stands on codices because it feels more comfortable, because it's a major software, because it is already having application, fine, that's totally fine. Codices is welcome into the Corvina platform. It's welcome into the X platform, because at the end we need to guarantee that anything works together.
Okay.
And we're not disqualifying one solution or the other, but we would like to have one solution that we can manage fully, to be prepared for our customer and to tell, okay, guys, we have a solution. We can be your partner, not just selling a license, not just selling a piece of iron, but to be a partner that goes from the hardware, from the field to the factory. Okay. That's the main goal of Corvina.
Okay, thank you. And could you just give me some simple instruction that what XPLC can do? Actually, I know the XPLC is a software PLC is made by EXOR, but actually what kind of filters that XPLC have, and what if I want to use XPLC to make the program, what kind of language they can support, or even this type of simple instruction for that?
Okay, very simple. XPLC is a standard IC 61131.3. So all the standard language are supported: ST language, ladder language, function block language, all the 5 language, let's say. It even supports the object-oriented programming. On the fieldbus side, Modbus is supported in all its forms. You can connect with Modbus features. You can connect to Modbus sensor, to Modbus I/O, local and remote I/O. You can use CAN open. So there are libraries and management from a CAN libraries layer 2 or CAN open protocol. Ethernet IP has been just now prepared for release. So Ethernet IP is working. We are working now in Profinet I/O. Okay, so 2026 we'll have a roadmap for the Profinet I/O capability, and the most effort and the most technology we put is into the most used field bus, which is EtherCAT. With EtherCAT, with support, as I said, even the multi-master capability, with the redundancy, and the program is totally based on a standard called the PLC Open. If you go into PLC Open website, you can recognize the name Axel. Axel is the name of the company that EXOR acquired. That is actually the producer of XPLC.
Okay.
So it's been registered, it's fully certified to be portable, and this is also bringing me one of the biggest feature of XPLC. Due to its portability, let's say, capabilities, it can import PLC open format programs made by any PLC editor. So if your PLC editor can export an XML in PLC open format, and Codesys has this option too, but also other vendors, then this object can be imported into XPLC very simply, and you can work just on very tiny differences with custom libraries, for instance, or something like that. So portability of code. Other features that we can recognize, it's a very interesting usage of the debug tools. We have an inner oscilloscope that works, let's say, not in a deterministic way in one glance, but you have one format that is in a deterministic way. So you can have like a millisecond recording of all the debugger, no? And then another interesting thing about any breakpoint that you can put, you can also check the real-time signals by not putting breakpoints, but just by defining triggers, which are conditions. When a trigger condition raise that you defined, then you start recording. So that this allows you to debug a real-time application without stopping it. That's amazing, because it brings you much more tools in your toolbox, you know, to find where the problem is in a very easy way, because you can drag and drop variables into this oscilloscope, and then the curves are there. That are all these features already done. All the libraries are inner documented. So when you take a library, or you can build your own library, all the library can be based on HTML as documentation. So you can also build your own catalog. In the nature of JMobile, Corvina, and XPLC, there is the branding nature. That means it's open to a big group, a big customer that would like to put their name and customized parts. And the PLC is very interesting, because our version of XPLC, when you start XPLC ID, you can choose the EXOR targets. But in the case that you would like to put XPLC somewhere else, you can customize your catalog. And you can also customize your equipment I/O devices as part of your own catalog, very personalized. That's another feature, the full flexibility of form that can take.
Ah, okay. So it means that XPLC also maybe some big brand or for the using it for their own PLC. Is it correct? Because I think it's a very interesting story. If yes, I think XPLC, the big player is all trust the XPLC's performance and or something.
Yes, for sure. It's already a thing. We have already brand labels following XPLC and using XPLC as the baseline for their PLC technology. So it's not a new thing. It's something that, as Daniel said, has already 20 years of story. And it's also integration with CNCs, integration with multi-axis applications, integration with HMIs as we are, and integration with many other equipment like bare metal equipment where there is a very low cost hardware or low performance hardware to do control and to do applications.
Okay, thank you. And okay, I think you stop here because we spent 1.5 hours, and I need to have one more topic we need to talk. I would like to stop in 2 hours, inside 2 hours. And the final topic is for security. That when I see EXOR's website, that EXOR is that they take the security certifications, and EXOR's product also have this certification. Could you actually? I'm not a expert in security. And what's the difference between that if I take this certification or if I use the device that have this certification or if not?
Okay, let me start with a funny sentence.
Okay.
I like funny sentences. I met in this period, I met many people about this team. And anyone is telling, I am not an expert in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Even someone that should be an expert in cybersecurity. But there is a reason for that. We are following European regulation that will be effective in 2027 mostly. There are 3 of them. There is Cyber Resilience Act, there is NIS2, and there is also machine regulation. Then there has been last year also RED-DA, that is a side regulation for equipment with host Wi-Fi or radio connection with web, right? Regulations and certifications. What I'm seeing is that there is a certain part of politics that is pushing very hard to raise a little bit the standard of cybersecurity in equipment for industrial world and for anything connected or connectable. This opens the Pandora's box. Anything is now raising up and anyone is rushing to be certified. Talking about certification, we are 2 kinds of certification. One is the IC 62443.
Okay.
This one is mostly for producer and of equipment. So PLC manufacturer, HMI manufacturer, anyone that manufactures something physical. This regulation can be divided in 2 parts. One is the chapter 4.1. It involves the process that the company uses to produce that equipment.
Okay.
Sorry, I said something not completely true because it's not just a physical equipment, but it is also related to a software.
Okay.
And when I talk in software, I'm talking to JMobile, to projects, to BSP, to anything that relates and is hosted by that machine. Okay. So anyone who creates hardware and creates software must guarantee that the process of creation of that software and hardware is fitting certain procedure. Okay,
I get it.
That's the first part of regulation. The second part is related on the product itself. So is this product guaranteeing a certain level of security? Is this product guaranteeing the default that are hardened in security? And then there is all the checklist on products and all the library that must be aligned and all the technology must be renewed. And this is probably a longer phase because there is many things in the back compatibility stuff to guarantee back compatibility that sometimes in automation world has not been the focus, to stay always on top of technology. And then the more challenging part for any vendor of OT devices to align the products that they sell. The other regulation is about data integrity, data access. It's partially overlapped, but it takes the full picture of Corvina. And this is ISO 27001. This other regulation is taking also the user login, the authentication matters, the profiling, the second factor of authentication. And that's, again, something that the more you harden, the less you have experience, the less you have freedom to operate, right? It becomes complicated.
Okay.
So, I don't want to scare, but the fact is this: it's not sufficient to have a certified product, because there is a kind of pyramid of responsibility. There is the producer of the equipment that can certify a product, and by certification, you can self-certify, or you can ask an authority that certifies you. EXOR shows the path, the most complete part, the authority. We have TÜV Süd that certified our process already. So there is something that is it's not our word, but it's a word of an authority in front of the European Union that says, okay, guys, these companies is certified in processes, and we would like to obtain the same let's say the same level of certification even in the product. So not by ourselves, but this is the first layer of the pyramid. When you then distribute this product, machine builder itself will have their own responsibilities. So having a certified product is just the baseline, but then you need to create a project that fulfills rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, and then our role in EXOR and Corvina is to provide all the guidelines to how to create project artifacts in line with cybersecurity. And then again, this is not finished because a machine builder is just the middle layer. Then there is also the users. When a user will use a product, he must guarantee that the usage is respecting what the machine builder has reported in the security statement of the usage of the product. So there are at least 3 levels of responsibility, and the most brutal impact they will have is during the life cycle. Because when you manufacture something after 2027, you need to be certified or not certified. There is this mistaken understanding, because certification is just one part, but the real thing that you need to assure is that you are compliant with the norms. 2 different things. You can be compliant without be certified. A certification is just something that puts you into a good baseline and then save you some job to do. But at the end, a machine builder must just be compliant to what the normative will say. I know we, as a European, we complicate everything, but actually, it probably become a little complicated at the end. So, just to complete, the brutal impact that we'll have is in the life cycle, and even in this is the most dangerous thing that we are still understanding by law, because the law has not been pushed completely. They are refining how the law is putting into the real cases. Okay, it's too early. So even for machines that are already in the field, if you need to update something in the project, you need to apply a patch for a fix or something. If this patch will have a significant impact in terms of cybersecurity, even the machine sold before 2026 must be certified, must be compliant. That's the most brutal problem that will happen. So for sure, we understand that now the regulation is that it's terrifying everyone. So for sure that it will have some impacts in a more nicer way. But if we read the law at the moment, this is the impact. And the answer of EXOR on that is certify the process, done. Certify all the newest family of product in progress, very near to be completed. And then provide a machine builder a platform that can guarantee the security patches for guaranteeing the life cycle of the machine. And this comes Corvina Edge Management. With Corvina Edge Management, you can check what is the version of any project, version of any runtime. You can declare this, and you can also declare that this is the level of certification, the level of security, and you will require that one. And believe me, this one in the hand of a machine builder is an extreme big value.
So I get your meaning. So actually, EXOR is providing a basic infra for the machine builder and for the end user to work in a security way. And I think is that understand it correct? And then after that, the machine builder also need to follow the security guideline to make sure everything is working well. And the end user also need to check everything is working well. So how to say? EXOR is just providing the infra to base the, if you would like to work in a security way, please follow our guideline and or use our products. So it's just a very basic layer. And after you have an end user, you have the supplier, you have end user, you have a machine builder. It's just an easy story. It's like
No. It will be probably never finished because new attacks will come, new vulnerabilities will be discovered. So we are just at the beginning of the end.
I think after 2026, and EXOR will be very busy for this topic.
Yes.
Chris, consider also another important aspect that I think is good to share with you. CRA and NIS2 is something that they start, let me say, pretty recent to define, to impose for 2027. But we started on cybersecurity part, also in this case, working with the customers, big customers that are working big infrastructure, militaries, application, especially in the United States. We were forced already to start this quite early. We started, I think, 7-8 years ago to talk about cybersecurity and to define how to manage it properly. So it's not just a matter of, let me say, patches or structure, but also is an organization that is behind this. So we were forced to take also right skilled people to create a full organization, and now can support it. But it's coming from long time also, this type of investment. I think keep in mind that now is something that will be applied in Europe by law, but step by step will be expanded everywhere. Or also customers, Japanese customers, Chinese customers, that they need to ship machines, send machines in Europe. For sure, they will need to take care about this aspect because otherwise it will be difficult for them to sell it. But I can expect that similar regulation will come also in other parts of the world. I can see already in the United States, but I can expect the same, something similar, maybe with another name, but similar rules will come also in Japan. It comes also probably in other countries, and that will be something that will put us in a condition that we will be already prepared, because of course we already face this type of critical problems that, of course, now we are resolving with certification and with technology that can support our customer the best.
Yes, I think around Japan, we also know that this security problem is a very big challenge after 2026. But I know so many companies, also German company, they're also starting to approach this type of stuff. But for the Japanese company, also actually maybe so there are machine builder, some small machine builder or end user, they don't know how to do, and actually don't know so much for this type of security stuff. So we take time, maybe EXOR can help also the Japan market to export the machine to EU or to finish this type of problems. We are expecting you.
Yeah, of course, we will have the possibility both to support machine builders there, but also eventually OEM that are that they have a little bit lack on this part, and they are looking for a partner that can offer technology, software, and also hardware. They can satisfy this type and also even services. They can also support their own customer approaching this type of critical situations. So we are in this market on both sides, both from on machine builders and also end user, but also on OEM, big manufacturer for devices where they are already serviced today, even in Japan.
Yeah, you should go into Japan.
And so that's something that I think is will be a very interesting market also for us, for sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think time is gone. Now I think, at least in my timer now, we spend 1 hour and 15 minutes for talking. Okay, so I think let me just summarize or something. I would like Daniel and Nicolas to just maybe talk 1 minute or something to say something for our Japanese listener or even English listener, because now we're speaking English. Could I pass this to you both guys, to just talk something, to say something to our English listener or even Japanese listener?
I don't know, Nicole, if you want to say something. I have clear, very important information that I want to share with everybody also in Japan. We start to approach, I'm starting also to visit and to travel in Japan since some years now. I start to know a little bit more about the culture and how also different is and how important also is still the technology there. From our point of view, we can see that our company with our technology can support customers in Japan to approach the global market more and more, to be, let me say, quite adequate in be the winner in the market, in particular against other players. That's exactly what is our wish, and thanks also to our local partner like you, Chris, for sure will help, because we know quite well language is fundamental in Japan, and so we need also people like you helping us exactly to explain about our technology and also to support customers there.
Okay.
So thanks you and for your
and I hope your support team will not hate me, because I sent so many support emails to your support team.
Let me spend also 2 words for my side too. We really like your email request, Chris, because it is the feeling that we have that our technology still is a solution for someone, still is a solution that is not an old solution, but it's something that it's on the edge of technology already. And to all the listeners, we are open. We are open to discover even more application, more pain points, more things that we can together find a solution, or maybe something that we never thought about. And by listening on a big pain point of a customer or an OEM or anyone that is trying finding a solution, is providing our brain the opportunity to get in pressure and to find if what we have is enough or we need to grow. I think it's a win-win situation, and the objective, as Daniel said, for us is to be in this market for many years and even to expand in many other regions. So thanks for listening to us, to our voices, and hope to hear from anyone soon.
Okay, thank you. And let me also talk something in my side. So I made Corvina-san and Daniel-san, I think more than 2 years, and they're very great guys, and EXOR is also a very great product. As I also have so many experience with different type of device, and how to say, at least I think EXOR is a very great company or great manufacturer. They really spending time on how to say, put so many resources to make their products to be more better than before, and every year they also release some new products, and even they see their website, they have a list of future products, a future product list. And for example, the new HPC, they also try to integrate the GPU inside their IPC. They also have a collaboration with some chip company. Maybe I cannot say the name, but all these activities is meaning they really would like to improve their products very well. And I very like their support team. They don't hate me. They don't put some. I send every week I will send some support email to them. I very happy. They still very nice to support me and give me very detailed solutions. And I would like to thank Daniel and Corvina in here. Yeah. And okay, so Taka-san, do you have something? Taka-san, do you have something you'd like to say? And before we end the podcast.
Chris-san, please translate
Okay.
Japanese to English.
Okay.
そうですね。お話は全部聞かせていただいて、で、我々のラジオでも、クリスさんと、クリスさんが、EXORのことは非常に、いい、素晴らしいメーカーということを常々言ってまして、リスナーの皆さんもね、本日、高方の話を聞くのは非常に楽しみにしていると思いますので、非常にいい回になったかなと思います。
はい。
はい。で、EXOR、イタリアメーカーの、なんですか、いい製品っていうものが、日本のメーカーのユーザーにもすごく伝わればいいなっていうのは我々も感じてますので、今後ともよろしくお願いします。
はい、ありがとうございます。So as Taka-san said, I think he after I talked with this podcast, I also think EXOR is a very nice, fantastic manufacturer making great products, and the Japanese listeners also very appreciate to listen, waiting to listen this podcast, because if we don't know that we have a not just HMI manufacturer, they're making the cloud platform, software PLC, a total solution called X platform. There is a company in Italy, they're doing these type of things. And Taka-san also would like to see that EXOR will go inside Japan to get some market in the future. So he would like to say thanks to Nicola-san and Daniel-san for joining our podcast.
Let me say arigatou gozaimasu.
Yes, speak a little bit Japanese.
To all Japanese listener probably, and thank you. I appreciate a lot of your invitation. We appreciate a lot of your invitation and the time that you dedicated us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we spent 2 hours in here. I think we will release this podcast very soon. And here is a FA Radio, and thanks for every people that listen to the end of this podcast. Okay, so Taka-san, please have a good night, and Nicola-san and Daniel-san, please have a good day. Okay, maybe see you in Japan or Italy or in India.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.